Hello, Flosstube. This is Beth, and this is Flosstube number 4, and we are still working on Inchies. So I'm going to try to do both square A3 and 4 today, and hopefully this won't be quite so long. So square A3 is a variation of woven stitches, and it's very well diagrammed. So I'm just going to go and do the first row so that way you can see how to stitch it. Now again, I've got my canvas upside down, so I'm turning my chart upside down. She said to start in the top left corner, so that would be over here is where we're starting. I already have my needle threaded, and I did it an away waist knot, so it's going right where I will be stitching. So you have your 2 blank canvas threads, and then if you notice, you have a little cross stitch right at the top. So you're going to have to skip a thread and then skip another thread, and this is going to be your first stitch. So 1, up at 1, and then down, and then she has up at 2 and down. Then you're going to skip 1 canvas over, and that's going to be 3, correct? And then you're going to do a diagonal stitch. Now you can count this. It's 1, 2, down, 1, 2 over. And then this is where 4 comes up. It's at the edge of your canvas. Now pull this tight so you get this woven look. And then you're going to, this is easy to find, it's going to be directly across from where you came down on 3. And that's 4. And then 5 comes up. Left hand, and then you know, see, that was where you went down the last one. Your woven stitch is going to go down this middle, so you can go, you don't have to count anything. Just come down. This is the edge of your block. Now so I'm just going to start stitching. Hopefully I can fast forward through this. So here, I'm almost down to the bottom. I'm going to cut my knot because it's sort of getting in my way. So again, so I know I'm coming all the way down to here. So I'm on my left and directly underneath the stitch that was there. On my right, coming up and going directly across. It makes a nice plated stitch, and can you see this for feathers on a bird? So when you do these stitches, that's what makes them fun, I think. How could I use this another time? All right, so I'm almost to the bottom. I don't want to go too far. That's the only problem with not marking all your squares off in your canvas. Okay, so the only issue you might have with your these woven stitches, is you do need to compensate. But you know what? On the big block that she shows on A3 on page 4, she shows you the compensation. So this is the bottom of your, okay, I guess I'm showing you underneath again. This is the bottom of your square. So if you left this area here blank, your eye would be drawn to it. So you've got to put a little stitch here so that your eye doesn't say, hey, something's going on there, that's wrong. So you come up here and you're gonna, if you did a full stitch, it would go all the way across to that hole, but you're not. So you're gonna end at the edge of the block. And in the same hole, it's gonna share a hole. Same for this stitch. It's gonna share a hole with the stitch under there. All right, and now she has you, you're going to go up. So all you have to do is count over. So 1, there's going to be a stitch coming up here if I look at the chart, and then this is where you're coming up if you look at the bottom. Where she has it counted out. So I'm looking at the block, and see, I can't show you that online, so I don't want to show her graphics. But I can tell that you're starting one thread over. And that was my only concern, was not showing these in person. Now this one's a little more complicated. So you're going to go up and over 2. And that's your first stitch. So again, it's a big X on the bottom, but this X is a little bit bigger. So come up at 2 and go across. So that's your second stitch. Now 3 comes up at this edge, and then you're going to end here. And that's 3 and stitch 4. Now this is where you'll have to watch, because you're gonna, it's gonna be kind of a little, oops, I entered at the wrong spot, didn't I? I wasn't paying attention. So, okay, rethread. So actually you come down, 4 comes up here, so it's where the X ends. So that it's, again, it looks woven through the center. Now your next stitch, 5, is right next to, I'm going to lose my thread. It feels like I'm running out, but I don't want to end it. So comes up right above your number 3 stitch and ends there. Once you get a rhythm going, this is not too hard. I don't want to, I keep losing my thread. I like this thread. I don't think I told you what I threaded up with, but it's the Vineyard Silk, I do believe. I'm looking at it. It's by Threadworks, and I do think it's called Vineyard Silk, and it's a lovely thread. It's a little soft, so you want to make sure you have a nice big-eyed needle to go through. And I'm just going to keep going until I hit the top. And then again, the next one is just a little wider, and then the last one is narrower. So you just keep going. So this one you went down, you're going to come up, down, up, until you get all 4 in.